So today I thought I'd walk you through my drawing kit. This is the drawing kit that I keep just sitting near my couch. I have a drafting desk in my living room so that I can draw at any time. And this is the drawing kit that I keep there so that I have really no excuse to just draw something, whatever idea I have. Most of what are pretty much everything in here can help me do that. So, the case I have, this is a Sonnenleder. I don't know the brand name, how to pronounce it. Sonnenleder Lassie vegetable tanned leather school case. I really, really love it. It zips up. And then inside you have all these little slots so you can have everything in its place. I used to have just like a little kind of zip pouch kind of case, but everything was just lost in it. So I was constantly digging through. This I love because I can just go in and find what I want. Now I've opened it. It's a little bit messy, but not too bad. I didn't tidy this up before I did this video because I wanted to show you just how I work with it. So this one, it's just a short pencil, so it's always falling out. But when it's a bit longer, it doesn't have that issue. And then I have a few other things just kind of sitting and haven't really given it a permanent spot. So I'll go through all the different things. So first off, I do a lot of pencil sketching, so I have quite a few pencils in here. Now, the main ones that I use the most are these 3 clutch pencils. They look the same. They're all, the same blue kind of packaging, so I've added my own labeling. There's a 2H, an HB, and I believe it's a 2B pencil, and those are all 2mm leads in here. They're graphite, and I absolutely love these for almost all of my drawing. This is what I do. There's a range of values, so I can have, use the 2H for my first layers and then go progressively darker. And they're really fantastic for details and pretty decent for shading as well. I keep a couple of these Staedtler Mars Lumograph pencils, a 3B and a 4B. Those, I don't use them as often unless I'm doing more of like less of a sketch and more of like a finished drawing. And I just use those to add details or add some extra dark values once I've used my clutch pencils. I also have a couple of the Black Wings. Black Wings are incredibly wonderful pencils to use. I have 2. The Blackwing Matte, that's one of their core series. So you can generally get this at quite a few art stores. But this one is a Palomino Blackwing 344. This is quite a few years old. I just used it a bit here and there. It's one of their special series. Both of them are very, very soft. So I generally just use these for shading and not for detail. Okay. What do we move to next? Let's talk about ink pens. So I have several different sizes of the Pigma Microns, from an 08, I believe this is like an 05, an 01, and a 005. So that one's a really, really tiny nib. I use these when I am doing, sometimes after I finish a drawing, and then I finish a drawing with pencils, then I use the Microns. They're really fantastic for if you're doing ink and watercolor, things like that. So I do use them quite a bit. I also have, if these are too small, because the Pigma Micron or the Micron ink nibs are really tiny, I will use the graphic one. So that's a little bit fatter. Now, I do a lot of printmaking, so I carve lino cuts or block prints. And because of that, my sketches, I will often be using as a guide to carve. And I use the different microns, particularly the 08 or this, the graphic one. I use those so I can see, basically draw out exactly what I want to carve. And I also have this brush pen. And I use that if I'm planning out a block print and I want to fill a lot in with black. That really quickly fills in black. This is similar to a Micron pen. I have no idea what brand this is. I got this at some discount store. There was a pack of 12 of these for really, really cheap. So I just picked them up. So it's similar to the Microns, and except it's water soluble. So you can't use it to draw, your drawing and then apply watercolor over top unless you want it to have some sort of blending. And the last item that I have that's kind of pencil-like is a charcoal pencil. I just have one. I use this on occasion for like figure drawings and things like that. It's a Derwent charcoal pencil, and it's a medium. So it's just kind of middle of the road. I don't do a ton of charcoal drawings, but on occasion I do. Okay. Also for pens, I have one white gel pen, and that's because when I'm doing my sketches for planning out block prints, sometimes I will put down a lot of black ink, and then I want to put some white over top just so I can see kind of what I would be carving away, and that helps me plan out my future prints. And then next up, let's talk about all the erasers. Now I have probably too many erasers. I have 4 different erasers in here. This one I've used quite a bit. I might not buy it again because as much as it is handy, I think there's, I don't need 4 erasers. So this is probably something I don't necessarily need to keep in the future, but they're cheap and easy to keep around. This is the same sort of, this is just a standard rectangular white eraser. Same stuff as what's in here. I'd probably just keep this just because these are so cheap and last forever. This is the stick eraser I really, really like using. It's the Mono Zero. And it's just a tiny little eraser. And it's fantastic for being able to erase all sorts of tiny little details. So I will keep this over the blue stick eraser. And of course the kneaded eraser, which I couldn't live without. I looked for a type of eraser that has the plastic case so that I could slide it into here and keep it in here without picking up all, dirt and gunk from inside the case. And that's it for erasers. Now there's a few just random accessories. A pencil sharpener. I just have a little one, nice little metal one. I believe this is, it's a Staedtler Mars one as well. So I keep that for when I need to obviously sharpen pencils. It does not work on the clutch pencils, unfortunately. I have to keep a separate sharpener for those, and the sharpener's too big to go in here. So that's a downside of the clutch pencils. I also have this, which is a pencil extender. So I can, this pencil is getting pretty short, still okay for me to draw with, but when it gets even a little shorter, I can just, put that on, and then I'll be able to draw more comfortably. So that's handy to just keep around just in case. And then just this little ruler. You can keep the ruler here, but I never do, just because I have other things in there. And I think that is everything that's in my pencil case. So everything that's here, I am able to draw almost anything I want. Like I said earlier, I do have some other tools, but for the most part, this is the vast majority of what I use. This is probably 99% of my drawing. I just pull this out and draw whatever I want. I really, really like having the different slots. And I like having a really high quality case because I think this is probably going to last me for the rest of my life. Like I said, I used a pouch before and I was just constantly losing things and I didn't know what I had. So then I ended up pulling something else out, throwing it into the pencil case, and then I had more than one. So I just really, really think having like a little organized kit is fantastic and helps support my drawing.